What's up, everybody? It's your favorite Void's favorite nerd, and today we are looking at the Iron Factory Void Tyrant. This is on loan to me from Robert D, of course, the Legends man himself, who sent a few other things with this that I'm actually more excited to take a look at, but I'm just under time constraints. So we're gonna look into the Void, but we have to be careful because sometimes when you look into the Void will look back onto you, in the words of Friedrich Nietzsche, or however you say his name. Look, I know where the quote is from. I gotta get partial credit. Anyway, in order to do that, we gotta start with accessories, so let's start there. He comes with an array of hands, which we've come to expect from this company. 2 outstretched hands, 2 open holding hands, 2 closed holding hands. That's in addition to the 2 fist hands that you saw in the opening footage. He also comes with a different head sculpt where the crest is more traditional than the one that he comes with in the stock packaging. So if you want a more traditional head sculpt, they've included that for you. And while we're on the topic of extras, they also include an extra shoulder pad, which I can only guess is because they expect that breakage is perhaps possible. So I think we should appreciate them considering that in their accessories. And he comes with his signature arm cannon. We have an orange translucent and then flat plastic for the colors that you see. It can do a number of wonky things. This can come off. This can fold out. This can fold up. This can fold down. Just a transformer in and of itself, really. But most importantly, it can tab into the side of his arm. He comes with a battle axe. It's really nicely sculpted, and then the blades are painted with kind of a gunmetal silver. Decent enough job. And he'll hold that perfectly fine in his open holding hand. It can also be disassembled for a more secure fit with his closed holding hand. And now that puppy, as they say in the business, ain't going anywhere. All right, so let's talk about the figure. I've removed the cannon so that we can have more access to the figure. So the head sculpt is money. Yeah, this is the non-traditional one with the more like Decepticon like crown, you know, like Starscream wore, which I actually dig an awful lot. It's very like devilish, you know. The face is painted silver, eyes are painted red, sculpt is on the money, per usual. We'll back out a little bit. The head is on a ball peg. You get up to there, which is great. You get good down, you get side to side, you get confused Galvatron look. Shoulders are on ball pegs. You get the shoulder pad is on its own hinge. So using both, you get the arm out to 90 degrees. The shoulder pad has the gunmetal as well as silver and white paint. And then you get 360. Too much if you go too much. 360 around. Bicep swivel at a cut joint. We have a double jointed elbow for almost the full run. Wrist swivel where the hands tab in, obviously. And we have some silver paint there on the side. Same for the other side. For the torso, we have some silver accents as well as the red and white paint down there at the bottom. There's actually some white that's outside the lines on here, but yours will be different. Individual results will vary. Waist swivel, ab crunch forward. Not an extreme range, but I think more than enough. We have some hip skirts here that are on their own C-clips, so they'll get up and out of the way to expose T-jointed ball joints, which get you at least the full Van Damme and the full Monty. Thigh swivels at a cut joint. Back out a bit here. We have some gunmetal silver, some red, gunmetal silver accents. The knees, single hinge, 90 degrees, and the ankles are, I didn't bother to look. What are they? I know the ankle rocker's a little limited. They're ball pegs. You get forward a good bit, ankle tilt up a good bit, ankle tilt down a good bit. The rocker, you definitely get it. It's a little limited by the sculpt here on the side of the leg, but not a big deal really at all. And yeah, there he is from the back. Really well done. Size comparison wise, there he is with our usual suspects, a Hasbro Legends figure in the old Iron Factory scale blaster. And there he is with Iron Factory's Tarn. So a little taller, which I think is okay, because Tarn's not quite, you know, in that same league, so I think that actually makes some sense and probably will blend in quite well. Let's get him transformed. So push the head back, that will release all of this stuff. And this gray piece here will actually come down and double hinge, but we're not going to worry too much about that right now. Spin the waist 180, and at this point we're going to do some leg work. So spin them out to the side, and then you want to open up this flap here and bring that around to, I don't know, I guess technically the bottom of the cannon mode. Bring these around. Then you want to Combiner Wars the leg inside. We'll do that on both sides. And then you want to flip up the heels. I'm sorry, flip down the heels and then flip up the whole foot. Isn't the whole foot that comes up? Maybe not. Oh yeah, so there and there, so that it looks something. This one's more in the pocket than that one there, but actually that's not right either, because these two have to be kind of straight so that they'll tab into one another, and it might even be best to do that first and then sort of sort the pieces around it. Now for the head, we need to spin the head around, but we're spinning it on this ball peg that's connected to this back plate. But it also, I'm trying to think here. Let me just do this. So we'll do that first. And then this piece comes down and tabs in the two females there to the two males on the leg plates that we moved. And that should hopefully keep that in line. Swing the shoulders. Remember when I articulated on too much of that ball peg? Swing them to the back. And then what you're looking for is that peg hole in the arm to go with that peg on the side of the leg. And you're gonna do that on both sides. Ooh, maybe that's why they give you two. And same on this side. I'll have to clean that up in a minute. And then your final touches is just to kind of have this on here. This peg will go into this gray part. And, well, we'll see. We might have to do that off camera. But that's where it lines up. And then that's where it pegs in. But you see it got a little cattywampus right there. So let's try again. Still not quite right. I'll try to mess with it. And then this piece comes up here. And then I think that's it. Yeah. Yeesh. So I'll clean it up. We'll take a look at it. So look, I think that's it. I can't find any other steps that I'm missing, but it seems so incomplete to me. Maybe I like that better down, and then I don't know. I don't know how. It just doesn't look like anything. It just looks like a nondescript thing. You know, like a laser pointer maybe. It just doesn't do it for me. I'm sorry. I think, ironically, I think it looks better than the New Age one, and I don't think that one looks great either. But yeah, it's just this ain't it. You know, I don't think it looks like a cannon mode. I don't think it looks like a tank. I don't think it looks much like anything, unfortunately. So yeah, I don't know how I feel about that, other than say I think it's a pretty big swing and a miss. There it is next to Tiger Track, so about the same size, which I think is fine, especially for a Legends character. But yeah, man, not impressed. Thoughts-wise, we'll start with the negatives, and I mean, it's subjective, I guess, but to me, the most glaring negative is I don't think the alt mode works. I don't think it looks like anything. I think it's too abstract. It's not locked in. It's not dialed in. If I didn't know, let's say for just a second that there was no such thing as third party, and this was this company's character that they were coming out with, and the gimmick was robots that transform into different things and are at war with one another. There's absolutely, I wouldn't know what it was trying to be. Like, I just wouldn't have a good concept of what the thing was that it was becoming. And honestly, I mean, that's really my only issue. I do kind of feel like I expect more from a lot of their paint than what we get here, but I don't think it's too much of a big deal with the amount of accents that they do give you, coupled with lots of different color breakup in terms of plastics. Like, I think ultimately that's kind of forgivable, which is not usually my cup of tea, but I happen to think that way this to go around. But yeah, I mean, it's really, if I had to nitpick, I would say that, like, the transformation isn't an issue. Like, it's not a problem, but like where the arms arms tab in, for example, is like not the best connection, where the cannon has to tab into the back of the neck is not the best connection in alt mode. So like, even though it doesn't look like anything, it's like they still somehow found a way to like also not have the transformation process be the greatest. Not that it's hard or challenging, it's just a fit and finish thing, which is strange. The good news is that the rest of it pretty much works. The articulation is pretty great. The sculpt, per usual, is on the money. The paint accents, along with the color breakup, do provide for an interesting aesthetic. The build is quality, and there's no squeaky bits here, which we sometimes have to deal with from Iron Factory. It's a really good build, well put together, well assembled. The tolerances are good. Sculpt is good. Paint is fair. Articulation's great. So like, it depends, man. If the alt mode matters to you, there's no way I can recommend this. If you don't care about the alt mode, then the action figure element of it is fantastic. So I gotta leave this one up to you. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Until next time, take care.